Hi, my name is Dr. Rajadnan Ahmed and I'm a psychiatrist working in UK. And I'm making this video because I'm getting a lot of questions from junior doctors from Pakistan and other parts of the world, and medical students as well, that they have heard about different master's program happening in British universities and they want to come to UK and do those master's program. Commonly, I'm asked very commonly about the masters in public health, then masters in medical education, and there are other subjects as well people inquire about. So this video is about that. Is it really worth doing the masters from UK when you are a junior doctor, and what is the point of doing that, and how can that help you with your CV? So whenever somebody asks me about the masters, I've always asked them a question that why do you want to do it? What is your idea behind doing that? So some people say to me that I just want to come out of Pakistan, and I think if I get an admission in British University, I'll be out of Pakistan and then I can do whatever I like to do there, and maybe do PLAB while I'm doing masters and get to start working in UK. Some people say they want to do it because they got some time, some gap, and PLAB dates are taking too long and they just want to fill the gap with doing the masters. Some people will just say that they want to do it because they want to improve their CV. So let's talk about, is it really useful doing that, or what are the pros and cons? Now again, I want to say that this is just my advice, and I've been working in UK for 17 years, but I might be completely wrong on this subject. So if you want to ask other people, you're welcome to gather information and opinions from other doctors. So first thing to consider is that masters is an academic qualification and it's not a licensing exam. Now what it means is that by doing a master's from British University will not get you GMC registration or license to practice here in the UK as a doctor. For that you will have to do a licensing exam, or there are other pathways to get GMC registration, like doing the exams of the Royal Colleges or MTI, or there are other routes as well. But just by doing masters, this will not be enough to start you working as a doctor in UK. So that's the first thing to understand. And clinical qualifications are different from masters. So clinical qualifications, for example, MRCS, MRCP, MRC Psych, these are the Royal College exams. Those are clinical qualifications, and they are different from doing an academic qualification. I'll come to that in a minute. Then one of the most important thing to consider is the cost of how much these master's degree will cost, and you guys are right, you will get into master's program very easily if you apply to a British university. All they need is that you have done a bachelor's, which you have done as part of your MBBS. Then the cost will be, if you look at the university website, you will find out how much a master's will cost. Usually a full-time program is for a year, sometime 18 months, and sometimes the same program is happening part-time over 3 years as well. When they talk about the fee, they will always talk about the home fee and the international fee. So if you are an international student or international doctor coming from outside UK, you will have to pay the international fees. Even if you are a British citizen who hasn't been living in UK and has been living outside and now trying to come to UK again, initially you will not be able to get the home fee. You will have to spend some time here, and then you'll be eligible for a home fee then. So first you need to consider that, because the international fees could be at least sometimes 3 times, 4 times than the home student fee, and that can run in thousands of pounds. The second cost would be that if this is a master that you're doing face-to-face learning, then you have to physically come to UK. Coming to UK, you will be able to get the student visa, but then the traveling cost, the accommodation cost is a major thing here, and the living cost, obviously you have to eat and do the other stuff as well, and that will cost money as well. Then a lot of people say, what about on student visa, can I work? Of course, on student visa you're allowed to work certain number of hours in a week, but those hours and the kind of jobs you get are not very high skilled, so you won't be paid so much that you will be able to cover your fee. And another second important thing to consider is the time commitment, because as I said, a full-time master will cost you at least a year in time commitment, sometime 18 months, and this is if you pass everything in the right time. If you are not passing your exams or passing your assignments, you might need some additional time. So time commitment is important, and if you are a doctor who's clinically active, doing a master's and academic qualification might look like a clinical gap on your CV. It will look like you were doing academic stuff around that time. And sometimes when you are applying for jobs in UK as a doctor, when you have license, they like to see doctors who have been recently clinically active and can show some clinical experience in most recent years, that help them more. If you show them there you had a gap, that might not look very good on your CV. With time commitment, when you are actually doing your master's program, you are also doing your assignments, and you need a lot of time to do other stuff as well, covering the living cost and all of that. You're living out abroad, around that time, if you like to do PLAB, that will be an additional pressure on you, because PLAB itself requires your full focus. And some people have tried that and have done this successfully as well, that while they were studying for master, they cleared their PLAB and then got licensed to practice. But still, you need to consider that this will be doing PLAB while you're actually studying in a foreign country. That will you require more commitment from your side as well. The people who say that, I like to do this to improve my CV, so that's good. A master's from a British university will look very good on your CV, especially when you're applying for jobs there as well. And when you apply for higher training or training, that might give you some additional points as well. But then there are other things that you can do to improve your CV, which might not cost you that much, like doing research in your home country, wherever you are. That will help you improve your CV and your scoring as well on the training system. So then I have done a video on that specifically, that what are the things that you can do to help improve your CV while you are in your home countries, and a lot of these things will look equally as good as a master's, but will not cost you as much. If you are clinically active in your home country and already working in a specialty like medicine, surgery or psychiatry, I always encourage those doctors who are already in training in their home countries to consider the Royal College exam. So if you are training in medicine, consider doing MRCP alongside. If you are in surgery, try an MRCS. If you are in psychiatry, the MRC Psych exam. And so on and so forth. The other Royal Colleges, all the specialties, and they have different level exams that you can do. Now those exams are obviously not free. When you are taking those exams, you'll have to pay fee to the Royal College, and sometimes you have to take courses that will cost you money as well. But overall, the cost will be not as much as what you spend on a master's, on an international fee of master's. And the qualification you get is a clinical qualification, clinical exam qualification, and that again looks very impressive on your CV. So for example, as an example in psychiatry, I say, if you are a psychiatrist working in Pakistan and you did a master's in clinical psychiatry from UK, that master will cost you a lot of money. It won't give you GMC registration. It will look a little good on your CV, no doubt about that. But if you passed MRC Psych, that will look very impressive on your CV. That will show that you have the clinical skills to pass the Royal College exam. It will also, based on that, you will also be able to secure GMC registration and license to practice. So then you can come here and work as a psychiatrist on a middle grade level. You can also up to middle grade level, and you can also apply for ST training as well. So my advice to the junior doctors has always been, that if you really like to come and work in UK, try and pass the licensing exams. That's a very good pathway to get in UK, which is currently PLAB, and it will become UK MLA in the future. And if you are getting frustrated that you're not getting the PLAB dates and all that, then you can do other things to help improve your CV. If you have more time to study, then just explore which specialty you like. If you like medicine, try and do the first part of MRCP. If you like surgery, try and do the first part of MRCS. That will again, they will look very good on your CV as well, and it won't cost you that much, and it will give you the relevant clinical experience as well that you can use in the future. And as I already said, that if you are a doctor who already have higher qualification or have been gaining experience in a particular specialty in your home country, then try and do the Royal College exams of that particular specialty. That will look good on your CV and will help to gain you GMC registration and your right. Then you'll be able to get the right to work in UK by securing a job here. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing the masters. I think if you can afford it, if you if you can find the money to do it, if you find the time commitment to do it, and if your goals are very clear, then please go ahead and do that. But you need to understand there are other things you can do if your goals are a bit different. There are other things you can do to achieve the same goals, and it won't cost you that much. So in my own case, when I was doing ST training in psychiatry, I did the masters in medical education. So this is another option. If you really want to do masters in one particular specialty or one particular area, you can do that after you have secured a job in UK. While you are either working as a non-training doctor, or if you enter the training, my recommendation is always to first focus on your clinical exams, first focus on getting the training, then focus on getting the higher training. And in higher training, you normally don't have that many exams. And that is the right time for you to sign up for a master's program, and also you can find some funding. When I did my master's in medical education, I did not fully pay for it, and by that time I had British passport as well, so I was able to get the home fee. Part of that was funded by my deanery where I was working, part of that was funded by my trust as well. So I was able to secure some funding as well, and able to do that masters while I was full-time working. So I was getting paid as well from my full-time job while I was studying part-time for my masters. At the end, by the time I get my CCT, I was also ready to finish my masters and get that qualification with my name as well. So just to summarize, just to understand that masters is an academic qualification, and there are some clinical qualifications as well, which are the Royal College exams, which you can also do and help to improve your clinical skills and also your CV. Understand the financial commitments which comes with the master, and the time commitment which will come with the masters, and this option that a masters you can do in the future as well, if you first secure the GMC registration by a licensing exam or a Royal College exam or MTI. And once you start working in UK, you will be earning here, and within some years you'll be able to get the ILR or British passport, and then your fees from international students will come down to a home student. And following that, you should be able to secure a master's program, where you won't be paying that much, you'll be earning and be able to find the sources of funding from within your dream or within your trust. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope this was helpful, and best of luck with your future and your future goals and your career goals.